Ohio, as we get ready for the high school basketball coaches show, as we are just 2 weeks out from girls sectional tournament and 3 weeks out from the boys sectional tournament here in the area. Don't forget tonight, by the way, 79-cent boneless chicken wings here at Frickers. That's every Monday night. Of course, kids always eat free here at Frickers. Tuesday night is 89-cent chicken wings. That's the bone-in chicken wings. Wednesdays your $7.99 sirloin steak dinner. And then Thursday, $7.99 chicken chunk dinner as well. All right, before we get to Coach Hoover here to my right, we're going to talk about what's coming up this week on both Eagle 99 and 92.1 The Wolf. And if you are listening to us on the radio tonight, don't forget you can watch the video stream by simply going to YouTube and following Eagle 99. Turn on the notifications, and you'll be able to see us right there on YouTube, or just follow the link on the Facebook page of Eagle 99. Big week of high school basketball Thursday night here on Eagle 99. Southview at Ross Girls. That'll be 7:15 tip-off Thursday night. Friday night we have a double-header boys action. On the Eagle, it's Springfield at Ross, and on 92.1 The Wolf, Nick and I will have Perkins at Clyde. And then a huge game on Saturday for the SBC Girls Championship in the Lake Division. Right now, Norwalk is 20-1, and Bellevue is 20-1. And they will play on Saturday for the championship. That's a pretty good championship game, right? All right, Coach Hoover is with me. Eric Hoover, head basketball coach at Old Fort. But, yeah, it's pretty cool when the schedule makers made this schedule, and they just knew that Norwalk and Bellevue would end up with one loss, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what the funny thing is? Norwalk beat them earlier this year.
Really?
Yeah, so Norwalk actually owns a share already of the SBC.
Yeah.
So Bellevue has to beat them to win their share. So we'll have that Saturday. Now, that's a special time, by the way. We'll be on the air on Saturday at about 12:15 for the pregame, 12:30 for the tip. If you're going, the JV game starts at 11 on Saturday at Bellevue. But we'll have all the action here on 92.1 The Wolf. And, of course, the girls' draw came out today. We're going to talk about that later in the show with John Kearns. But right now we're going to talk Old Fort boys basketball. You know, Eric, I had you on the very first show I did, and you were 0-1 at that point. Remember that?
I do remember
when we were
that.
sitting here and you were 0-1. That seems like forever ago.
Right.
And now here you are 15-2. The last time you were on, you were still undefeated in league play. And it was, 4 weeks ago? So it was basically the end of December was the last time you were on, or beginning of January?
I think I was only here that one time, at the beginning.
I thought you were here twice with me.
Nope.
So anyway, right now you're 15-2 overall, 14-0 in league play. You're coming off wins over Woodmore and Danbury. Your two losses have come to Margaretta, who is just really good this year, and Colonel Crawford as well, another really good basketball team. So, you know, the two losses, you just can't do anything about that. You played some really good competition. Let's talk about Margaretta a little bit, because they're beating up on everybody.
Yeah.
What is making them so special this year, the Polar Bears?
They are really athletic. They play outstanding defense, and they get a lot of easy ones. I watched probably 5 of their games before we played, you know, and they're shooting layups all the time. You know, one team will score and they're down the floor getting a layup in 5 seconds or less.
Okay.
So they get it out and they go quick, and they take advantage of every little opportunity they get for a fast break. They get their hands on a lot. They got some good length with Washington, and they got some brothers. I can't remember all their names, but number 5's got some good length too, and they really put a lot of pressure on. And so we struggled to get the ball into any kind of offense. So they were just getting layup after layup, and it was just like every other game I watched them.
Right.
I was hoping they wouldn't be able to do that to us, but there we were, and there wasn't much we could do about it that night.
Well, but you want to play teams like that to get ready for tournament time.
Yeah, for sure. They're an outstanding team. We've had a lot of good battles with them over the years, and we've had a lot of close games with them at our place and at their place. So, I was glad to, always glad to have them on the schedule for that reason. We try to schedule, some non-league games like that, them and Colonel Crawford both, and, Toledo Christian and Cary. So we got some really tough non-league to try to help us prepare. They're, a little bigger schools and teams that are going to be maybe a little more physical to try to help prepare us for the tournament.
Yeah, you're D7, Margaretta's D5, Colonel Crawford's a D6. So you're talking about playing those teams. So in the SVC play, the only team that's taken you to overtime was actually Gibsonburg, but you played Calvert and Gibsonburg back-to-back games.
Yeah.
You beat Calvert by 2
Yeah.
at Calvert, and then you turned around on the like the Saturday after Christmas or Saturday after New Year's, I guess, and played Gibsonburg in a really
Yeah.
close game. So just kind of talk about that little stretch right there, that tough
Yeah.
part of your schedule.
Yeah, we won 3 games in a row by 1, 2, and 3 points.
Wow. Oh yeah, Christian was 1
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we were just finding ways to win some tight games there. You know, we were Toledo Christian. We were ahead. We had we were up by maybe 8 to 10, but it was close the whole time, and we just kind of held on at the end. The Calvert game, we were up 20, and they had one kid make 6 threes in the
Oh my
fourth.
gosh. Wow.
And they ended up tying it, and we won on a buzzer beater. So we were not handling it very well at that point. On how to finish games. So it was something we certainly worked on. And then Gibsonburg was beating us 90% of the game, and we came back in the fourth quarter and tied it up for overtime. So, and we were able to find a way to win in overtime. But they were all good, tough competition, 3 games in a row, and we were fortunate to get some breaks our way and to make some plays our way to come out on top of in that stretch.
What's funny, then you really didn't play a close game until you played Calvert the second time, and that was 66-53. So obviously you had to be happy with the split with them, but obviously did you play a lot better the second time?
Overall, yeah, we played better. We played a lot better defense. I felt like that game. They have outstanding big man in Gavin Wagner. One of the best players around, and we did a great job on him and really slowing him down. He does a lot for him, rebounding and scoring for him. So we did a great job. Much more active defensively, and having just played them 2 weeks ago, we had a much better idea how they were going to attack our defense too. So we were able to really be a little more prepared for what we were going to see, and I think that helped too.
We're talking Old Fort boys basketball with head coach Eric Hoover here on Eagle 99, and of course you can catch the stream of tonight's show here from Frickers in Fremont on our Facebook page. Look for the link there, or just follow us on YouTube, and you can obviously find the link there live as well. So, Coach, you play Gibsonburg the second time around tomorrow. That was that 3-point game. You said they were beating you most of the game. So that is at your place. You've seen them on film. How are they looking since the last time you played them?
Yeah, they've been pretty solid, pretty consistent all year. They play very hard. They have a lot of energy. Very athletic, and they're young, so they've been improving all year. I feel like, I've saw them play early in the year, and I think they're a different team now than they were then. Probably even better than when we played them before. I think they really have kind of settled in and what all their roles are on the team, and you can see. I follow their stats, throughout the year, and you can just see improvements in each individual. So it's going to be an even tougher challenge tomorrow night than it was the first time.
It's really hard to say this, but you have 2 weeks of the regular season. Girls only have 1. We are really at crunch time. I think your draw is next week, correct?
It's this Sunday, yeah.
It's this Sunday. Yep. And they're doing something, I don't know if it's new this year or I'm just paying attention to it, but with the seating, talk about how they're doing it now, as opposed to you guys all getting on a conference call or however you used to do it. So
yeah, this is the 3rd year for it now. It's an RPI rating, similar to what football does, I guess, except it's, of course, everybody gets in. So, but it's an RPI rating based on your win percentage, your opponent's win percentage, and your opponent's win percentage. So that kind of factors in strength of schedule there. It's done through Max Preps, so everybody enters your games on there, and so you don't vote for who you think the best team is in second and third like we used to do. Coaches would always just rank them themselves, and that's how they'd vote. So this is a little more, I guess, more fair if you're considering. Some leagues would stick together. Coaches would vote for teams in their own league rather than others. Whether they knew them better or whatever the case was, just a loyalty kind of thing, and that eliminates that factor of it. In that way, I think it makes it a little more even. You avoid some of that human factor, but it does affect your maybe your scheduling a little bit, or your schedule can play an impact on it. Like for example, in our league, Gibsonburg and in our district, Gibsonburg and New Eagle are real close.
Okay.
And so, New Eagle's last two games, league games after the draw, are us and Calvert.
Oh, okay.
You know, so you know that has an impact
Yes,
when
of
it comes
course
down
it
to
does.
the tournament draw.
Right.
You know, if they were to count all the games, then it would be even because you know you're playing all the same teams. So I know it gets right down to the crunch time. It would probably be, maybe it would be impossible to do. To use the whole season, I think you probably could do. You just know you're going to play this day or this day, but you know they like to get plans made earlier than that. But it does have an impact. You know, just how your league schedule randomly works out that you don't have any control over.
That's interesting. How do you like the new way you've been doing it the last 3 years?
I think for the most part it's been fair. Like I look at it the last couple of years, and I think it's pretty much how people would have voted. You know, it turns out pretty much how people would have voted. You know. Is that going to be the case always? I don't know. I think you know, like this year we're second in ours. Arlington has one more loss than us, but their strength of schedule is better. You know, the teams their records have been better, so they're in front of us. Even though you know they probably wouldn't be if it was an in-person vote.
Right.
You know, depending on what would happen the next 2 days, but you know, so. It's not going to be a big difference one way or the other. So ultimately, it's probably a little more fair if they can hammer out what the formula is that they use.
Will you have to travel for your sectional part of it?
Sectional games are all at home.
Okay.
The top seed plays at home for all sectionals, and the districts are at a neutral site. So our district would be at Fostoria High School.
Do you like it that way?
Yeah, I like that way. It is nice to have a home tournament game. You know, it's just another opportunity for your seniors to get to play another home game if you've earned it, right?
Cut down a net at home.
Yeah, it's another opportunity for that. It's another opportunity, for concessions and things like that because those, we count on those to fund things, So
and you always have the best bake sales there.
yes, they do. It seems like every game.
Oh my gosh, the Old Fort bake sales are the best, man. Anyway, so Coach, we're at crunch time, as we say. Gibsonburg, Hopewell. That's this week. That's Tuesday, Friday, and then you go Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday next week. Cary, Lakota, New Regal. So in these next 5 games, what are you hoping for your Stockhader basketball team?
Well, in the league, we got a 2-game lead with 4 league games to go. So, we're going to close it out strong. We don't want to leave any room for chance or to come down to a last game. So we just want to keep taking care of business in our league games here and close out the league championship. I think we got definitely some tough competition left there, so we're going to have to be on our game. And this is a time of year, practices can get, drag on for the kids and things like that. So you really want to just try to improve the things that we already have in and really try to, fine tune things so that you're playing your best when the tournament time comes. It can't be a time to, fall asleep or start to let things, lax in different areas to where you're, not going to be prepared when a tough tournament game comes.
I'm wondering, do you see a little difference in your seniors right now? Like, because they should be seeing that, wow, we're really towards the end here, and, this is the last one we get. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've had my seniors have been good all year. I think they've done a great job, leading the team and working with the underclassmen and really bringing everybody along and being a great example for even the JV guys. So, there might be a little more emotion into it for them, if they start to realize, that they only have a few games left. I think that was kind of a strong suit for us last year. We had a large senior group, and they just really put it together. And we're playing really hard at this time of year to leave their mark. We've had a lot of success, and so. It was great to see them really put it together.
You've won a ton of conference championships, but each group is different, right?
Yeah.
So each year you have to set new expectations because each senior group each gets their chance. So these 5 seniors, kind of talk about them a little bit for me.
Yeah, the personality of this team is way different than last year's. They're a lot more. Last year we were a lot more talkative, a lot more energetic. And these guys are all very quiet, mild-mannered, more people. So it's the personality of the team has been different, but the results have been very similar. And last year we could really like blitz people, like we could score a whole bunch right out of the gate, and it wasn't really the case for the most part this year. But over the course of the game, we're actually averaging more points this year than last. So everybody has stepped up and found their role, and the seniors are really, they've all had different games where they've had to step up and be the guy to carry us across the finish line or to help us build the lead at a crucial point in the game. So, very happy with everything that they've done, and really bringing the younger guys along, and they need them as well, and they're really showing them the way for the future also.
Where do you guys get your size at Old Fort? You always seem to have a big guy. Like 6'4", 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah,
how does that happen? Because I went to Hillsdale, which is kind of a similar size. Old Fort smaller now. We never had big guys, never had 6-footers. So.
Yeah, we've had a really good run of size, recently. Or I don't know if it's not always when I been coaching, but certainly the last 5, 6, 7 years. And these guys, I never would have really thought that they would get that big, but then they all just kept growing. Now they're all 6'2" to 6'4", and so it really does help us defensively to cover a lot more ground and get our hands on a lot of stuff and the style that we play. So, we don't really. We have one post player, but we have a lot of really tough post players to defend. So just having that all-around size has been helpful in helping our defense.
All right, Coach Eric Hoover, what will make this season a success? It's already been a success. You're 14-0 in the conference, 15-2 overall. But what will make this the ultimate success this year?
Yeah, we want to finish. We want to finish strong. We've got goals to accomplish yet. We really haven't won anything yet. We've got off to a good start, but I know we're getting towards the end, but it's still just a start, and we talk about that, and we want to be playing our best. Come tournament time, we've got a really tough district to play in with Arlington and Calvert and Gibsonburg and Newrigal all in there.
Right.
So it's gonna be a grind, and we want to have some good tournament success. It was a great experience for them last year, and I know they'd like to have that experience again. So ultimately, we're going to go out there and give it our best every night and keep trying to continuously improve. And I think this group really understands what it takes to be a good team.
Coach Schetzer, the other day we were talking to him. We were sitting right next to the Clyde bench the other day at Norwalk, and we were just talking to him I think it was halftime or something. And he's like, "Yeah, we have 22 scrimmages. Get ready for the tournament." You know what I mean? That's what he looks like. You got 22 of these to get ready for the big one, right?
Yeah.
So, well, Eric, thank you as always for stopping by, and we just love having you on. And good luck to the Stockaders the rest of the way.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, we're live here at Frickers in Fremont. We're going to talk some Lakota basketball when we continue here from Frickers. Just go ahead and put that down. You can go ahead. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. All right, so when we come back, we're going to talk to Adam Knepper, the head coach of the Lakota boys, and then a little bit later on, John Kearns is going to join me. We're going to talk some girls tournament basketball, which is just a little over a week away. So we'll talk about the tournament draw that happened over the weekend, and we'll get to that as well. But when we come back, Adam Knepper, head Lakota boys basketball coach, live from Frickers in Fremont on Eagle 99 and live on YouTube. And it's time to talk Lakota Raider basketball here from Frickers in Fremont. Head coach Adam Knepper joining me on the show. Kyle Knight here, Nick Roth running the video, and Aiden Klein back at the studio. And Coach Knepper, nice to meet you officially.
Nice to meet you, and thanks for having me.
Well, you guys are having a pretty good year so far. You're off to a 10-8 start. You're 7-7 in the conference. I just want to get your thoughts on how the season's gone so far.
Yeah, it's gone well. I think we're right about where we maybe thought we would be. There's been a couple that have probably gotten away from us that maybe we'd want back, but obviously can't go back and play them. So,
Right.
Yeah, it's been a good season. It's we're still a very young team, so we continue to get better and better every single time out. So it's a great group of kids. I can't complain one bit about attitude and effort. It's fantastic to coach these kids, and they keep working. They keep getting better. So yeah, it's been a good season.
You brought up the point you're young, and when I look at your season, you win a couple, you lose a couple, and that comes from youth, right?
It is. We're sort of inconsistent game to game, and even within games. And we talk to the kids a lot about we'll play a stretch of basketball in a game, and we look fantastic. The problem is we can't. We're not doing that for a full game very often.
Right.
So that's the challenge for our coaching staff and our players, is to increase the length of those good moments in the game. And it'll happen. It'll keep getting better and better and longer, and we keep telling them at some point. And I don't know exactly when that's going to be. We're going to be pretty darn good. So we just got to keep working and keep extending those long periods of good play.
So obviously the future's looking bright, and you seem to be pleased with where you're heading. So tomorrow you have Calvert, and then Friday is New Regal. You'll finish then with Old Fort and St. Joe. So you only have the 4 games left, 18 games in already.
Yep.
It's hard to believe we're here already.
I know. It does. It goes so fast. 4 games left. 3 of them are at home, which is great. Which is a good thing. 3. Some tough ones though, so we're gonna have to battle and play hard and play well to get some of those. So
yeah, I'm sorry, Adam, but your only road game is the Old Fort trip.
Yes.
So
yes. Yep.
Well, for Lakota to be at 7-7 in the league, so you're right in the middle of the pack. So let's kind of look at this here: Old Fort, Calvert, New Regal, and Gibsonburg. There's your top 4.
Yep.
And then you're right there.
Right.
So what's going to put Lakota into that top 4? What's going to get you there?
Yeah, I think just saying that, being more consistent, from game to game, and our approach to each game, and then within the game making those good stretches longer within the game, and it seems like we're getting there, and we go out in certain games, and I'll tell you about the Hopewell game we just played on Friday night. We're down 2 starters going into that game, and I'll tell you what, it probably my favorite win on the season.
Really?
I couldn't have been more happy with, it's kind of coach cliche, next man up, but we did. We had 3 kids, Grant Sugar, Jack Windman, and Bryson Ward, all step up and play more minutes that game than they probably have all year, and they played terrific basketball, and they did exactly what we asked them to do. And then we're down 2 of our backcourt players, 2 of our guards, and our third guard, Avery Schilling, just stepped up and took over the ball handling responsibilities and controlled the tempo and just played a fantastic game. Probably, he had 14 points, but maybe as a game control standpoint, one of the best games he's ever played.
Really?
And then he made 2 great plays down the stretch to sort of ice the game, and then he made free throws down the stretch. He just played a fantastic all-around game that day.
But how's that make you feel?
Fantastic. 'Cause free throw shooting for our team and for Avery. Avery gets to the free throw line a lot, and he has sort of struggled up to recently, and he works really hard at it. We're constantly trying to find little tweaks here and there where he can improve on. He works really hard. He shoots a lot of free throws every single day, and then for him to make free throws at the end of a game to ice it away when it counts, it feels so good as a coach. It feels so good for that kid, just because how hard he's been working, and it paid off from that game for him.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
As a coach, I know that just makes you so happy and proud.
It does.
And so let's talk about some of these kids, okay? So I'm going to bring up your roster here. Let's
Sure.
start with let's talk about your seniors to begin with. And
We don't have any. We don't have.
you
a
have
senior.
no seniors,
No
so we
senior.
won't talk about them. Let's talk about your juniors.
Yeah. So Avery Schilling is just talking about him and the game he just had against Hopewell. He's a junior. He's a 3-year letter winner. Blaze Beard, super athletic kid. He's a junior. He lettered last year as a sophomore. He's I think second on our team in scoring, right behind Avery. And Blaze is, if you haven't seen us play, Blaze's athletic ability and at times his scoring will wow you. Like he just jumps and runs and sort of with our team, we got to get him to be a little bit more consistent and a little bit more aggressive. But when he's aggressive, our team just takes off from that.
So to reiterate, Avery's at 13.6 a game,
Yep.
and Blaze is at 12.6 a game.
Yeah.
So really close.
Yeah,
to
those
each other.
are two leading juniors. Recently, Jack Widman, he started Friday's game against Hopewell. He was one of those guys that stepped in and played extra minutes. He's also a junior. Let's go down the list here. Josh Dibble's a junior. Doesn't play a whole lot of minutes here and there. He gets some minutes.
But the rest of your team's sophomores.
And then the rest of them are sophomores. Yeah, we'll start. Colton Kelby's hurt right now. He's a sophomore guard, playing really well. He played last year. He started last year as a freshman. Sort of battling a soft tissue injury right now. So just needs some rest. It's tough to find him that rest right now. But Nick Elkert, a sophomore guard, he's probably third on our team in scoring. He's missed the past couple games. He got hurt against Woodmore, and again, it's a soft tissue thing. It just needs time to rest and heal.
And you don't have time for that right
Right,
now,
we don't have time.
Yeah, he's averaging 9.4 a ball game.
Yeah, and he also rebounds. I think he's seven something rebounding. So
Yep, 7.3.
yeah, so our leading rebounder and third leading scorer. So and at times our primary ball handler as well. So sort of losing him, hurts us a little bit there. And Bryson Ward, another sophomore, comes off the bench, been increasing minutes as the season has gone on, and just plays hard, plays his butt off, plays great defense, plays hard, does everything we ask. Grant Sugar, another sophomore, started last game. Usually our sixth man, played more minutes last game just due to injuries, and a really good shooter, really great, smart kid, just does anything you ask. And then Max Nordhaus is also a sophomore, big body inside.
6'5".
6'5". He's a big, strong kid. Just rebounds really well. He probably hasn't scored as much as we thought he would this year, but he does so much for our team other than just scoring, rebounding. We put him up front on the press breaker, and he's so key just to help getting the ball in bounds, and then we'll put him in the middle of the floor against zone presses, and he'll just post up in there, and you just throw him the ball, and he goes up and gets it, and press is broken. So
You seem to out-rebound your opponents on most nights.
we do, and I talked about this with the kids, especially all of our wins. And the rebounding stat has been a huge correlation between our wins and losses.
Okay.
When we win the rebounding battle, we win the game.
Okay.
When we lose it, we're probably
You're gonna
not
lose
winning
the game.
We're going to lose the game. So we talk about it a lot. It is important, and especially correlates with our wins and losses. So.
Head coach Adam Nepper is joining me here on the program. We're talking Lakota Raider basketball. I also like this. I count, 7 freshmen. So on the junior varsity, I don't know if they're still all on the team.
we're actually down to 6 now.
Okay.
Which is still a good number. And,
Yeah, you only lost one.
And we've sort of found a way as the season gone on to play some freshman games. We actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we actually
Okay.
we actually played one. We can't play triple headers just because our
No,
overall
obviously.
numbers aren't
Yeah.
big enough. But we actually played a freshman game tonight, and I think it was their fifth freshman game, and we got 4 or 5 more scheduled. So
That's really good.
yeah,
that they're gonna
and
get.
just a really cool group of kids. They work really hard. They've gotten so much better, and we try to find those games for them, just so get them that experience.
Well,
they
play
just
kids
need,
their own age.
Yeah, they just need playing time on the floor.
Right.
So, and that's what it is for them. We're so happy with those kids, the way they've worked, and we need to find them some opportunities to show it.
So, Adam, what's your vision for the future of this program for the Lakota Raider basketball team?
Yeah, so, sort of staying on course, just keep getting better and better every single day. We got to put the work in because everybody wants to, everybody wants to win, and everybody wants to win now. But it's a process, and we're taking steps to getting better. Obviously, we have no seniors, so all of these guys are back next year, which should help tremendously. I'm sure we're gonna have a great rest of the season and off season, and we'll come back hungry or ready to go. And then I'll say this too: our younger levels, our 7th and 8th grade teams particularly have a bunch of kids who are really have basketball as their favorite sport.
Really?
And it's been a long time since that's been the case at Lakota. And we have high school kids too. But our 7th and 8th graders, I think they have like 3 losses combined on the year. They're both really good.
Really?
They're both going to play in their second round in their tournament game on Wednesday night at Lakota. Just a great group of kids who love the game of basketball, and they play a lot, and they play outside of the season, which is,
That's
as
great.
you know, absolutely huge.
Right.
So, we're going to gradually work those kids in when they get up to the high school level, and we're just going to get deeper and deeper and deeper, and the sky's the limit for where we can go. But we got to, like I said, we got to keep working. We got to put the work in, and it's a process. We're not gonna be state champs overnight.
No, but okay. So we'll look at your roster, right? And Coach Hoover's done this 14 years.
Yeah,
And like,
he's terrific.
just his varsity roster is, about 1.5 of your, right?
Yeah.
But that's just because he's done it so long,
Yeah.
and it's a consistency.
It
The
is.
longer you're there, and building the program.
It absolutely is. And if you look at the longer tenured coaches in our league, Hoover at Old Fort, and Otterbacher at Tiffin Calvert, and Losey at New Riggle, Roger Jury at Hopewell. Those guys have been around the longest, and their programs are consistently at the top because those coaches are not only good, but they're good at building their programs from
Right.
the bottom to the top, and they have done so for a long time, and they are very good at it. So, that's a challenge. We're trying to get there to that program level of those schools, to match them and hopefully beat them some.
Right. No, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
Is to eventually get to the point where you're beating them consistently. So, tournament draw comes out Monday, of course, and it's just so hard to believe we only have 2 weeks left in
It
the
is.
regular season, and
It
then,
is.
and then the fun starts.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
it's fun, but I'm sure as a coach, it's also very stressful as well because you're one and you're done. So
Yeah, it is, and it's exciting. Tournament time is supposed to be exciting and fun, and it's sort of like a news that. It's not gonna be easy. We have a tough district. We're currently in 5th place in our district seeding.
but you're in a very tough district.
It
though.
is.
Yeah.
It is. It's a tough district. We have Mohawks probably locked in at #1 seed,
And
then we
you're
got-
also Division 6, not Division 7.
Yeah, we're Division 6.
So-
And then we got 3 Toledo teams in there that are in front of us, in between us and Mohawk, that, that's a tough league they play in, and they play in Toledo, and they play a bunch of bigger schools in Toledo, so they play really tough schedules. And I've watched a little bit of all of them, and it's really tough to to figure out, if we have a choice, which one we might wanna
Right, yeah, I
play.
understand, yes.
So they're all very good teams and very well coached. So it's not gonna be easy.
Well, Coach Knepper, anything else you want to add to the broadcast? We really appreciate you coming out and being out here at Frickers tonight, but anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I don't think so.
You sure? Yeah. I got John coming on next. So
all right.
we got the boss coming on next. So
There you go.
we're going to talk tournament girls basketball. Well, Coach Knepper, thank you so much for coming out, and good luck to the boys the rest of the way, okay?
Appreciate it. Thank you, Kyle.
All right, Lakota Raiders boys basketball. Again, they play tomorrow night at home, correct?
At home
At
against
home.
Calvert.
Now, against Calvert, that'll be a tough one.
It will.
Got some good games going on tomorrow night. All right, we're going to come back to Frickers, talk girls sectional basketball. You're watching and listening to high school basketball here from Frickers in Fremont on Eagle 99.